Hey guys, welcome to the second video in our series of preparing BAS in Xero. Today I'm going to take you through the steps to reconcile the GST in terms of going through all of the transactions, ensuring they're accurate, making sure bank accounts are reconciled, and just other checks and housekeeping you can do before lodging the BAS. So let's get started with the first step, which is most important, and that is making sure you've coded all of your transactions and that you've then reconciled the bank accounts. This includes any credit cards. Now, looking at this business bank account here, we can see there are 28 items to reconcile. We're going to use, for today's example, in the demo company, March as the BAS. So we're going to say we're lodging Q3, which is January to March. So all I want to check here is that there's nothing from the January to March period left, which there isn't. Check the savings account as well. And everything from January to March has been coded. So that's the first step with reconciling bank or credit cards. The second step is running your reconciliation report. So if I click on the reconciliation report, for each account, I can choose a date to see whether the statement in balance in Xero matches the actual bank statement balance. So we want to run it for the final day of the quarter that we're doing the BAS for. So in this case, we said Q3 or the March BAS. If I run it for the 31st of March, we can see that the amounts match. If there was a difference here or transactions were listed that were out of balance, you would need to attend to each of those transactions. So an example of things that can throw out the balance would be transactions coded in March to the wrong period. For example, let's say you had a transaction on the 30th of March and you've coded it to something in April, that will raise an out of balance here. So if there's anything here that's stopping it from balancing, click into the transaction that it lists and deal with it so that it comes to this amount here with an equal balance both in Xero and on the bank statement. Now, this doesn't mean 100% that it's still balanced. Xero can from time to time have opening balance issues or missing transactions. So the final step here is to take this balance on the 31st of March and compare that to what your bank statement says from the bank itself on the 31st of March. If they match, perfect, that's reconciled. Next thing we do is go to the other account. So this is the business savings account. I'm now going to check every other account as well. So the business bank account, I update that, it reconciles, which is great. I then check that against the bank statement balance. I'm happy with that, we're good to go. So that's the first and most important step, coding all the transactions, checking these two amounts match, and then comparing that amount to the same date on your bank statement or credit card statement. Cool. Step 2, some housekeeping. We go to the business menu and we look at sales overview firstly. What I like to do here is ensure that there are no bills or sales sitting around that shouldn't be. So how do you check that? Simply go to awaiting payment and look for anything old that shouldn't be sitting here. So I can see that there's only one transaction left here from March. Now it's strange that it's saying it's overdue by, oh, I get it 100 days, sorry, my bad. So yeah, basically I've got an invoice here and let's just say this wasn't correct. I would want to write that off with a credit note or deal with that before lodging my BAS just to clean up the accounts. In this case, I know that they've paid $850 and the next $250 will be paid with the following invoice. So I'm going to leave that. But this is a good exercise to keep your accounts clean. And if you're running on an accruals basis, any invoices that are left in the period that are incorrect will increase or decrease your GST payable. So it's important to clean these up. So let's repeat this process for bills. Go to business, bills to pay. And once again, we're going to go to the awaiting payment tab. So I'm going to click on awaiting payment and look for any historic bills that should be removed. Now I'm happy with this as I look at it, everything's in the current quarter nothing is there from January to March. So I'm going to leave that. Once again, if something's sitting there that shouldn't be there, I'm going to deal with that. Make sure you deal with it in the current period. If you're not sure how to raise a credit note, ask your accountant or bookkeeper, or you can use the Xero help icon up the top right and type in credit note. Great, so that's step 2 done. We've checked the bills and sales. Now we want to check that all pays have been processed. If you're employing staff, you don't want to report on the wages and PAYG unless all pay runs have been processed for the BAS quarter. So to do that, we click on Payroll, Pay Employees, and I'm going to check that all pay runs up to the 31st of March have been run. And looking at this, I can see they have, as payroll only started in June, so I don't have any payroll to worry about in the period I'm looking at. Great. Next step is to actually go into the activity statement. And this is the final main step that we're going to follow when preparing a BAS. And let's have a look at that. So under the accounting tab, you'll find the activity statement report. This is the report that populates the fields required for a BAS statement lodgement from a small business. So it covers your GST, your PAYG withholding from staff, and you've also got a field where you can enter in your income tax installment amounts. So we're going to have a look at the activity statement and see what information that we can get out of it. Okay, sorry, demo files is taking a little bit. So the first thing you notice with the activity statement report is it lets you choose a reporting period. As BAS is lodged on a recurring basis, you need to ask Xero to show you a specific period. So in this case, we were doing Q3 of financial year ending 2019. So that's March. So I want to scroll down to March 2019 and select. You'll also notice the statement will show which liabilities are to be reported. We've got GST, PAYG withholding from our employees, and PAYG income tax for ourselves. So when I populate this report, it gives me a breakdown on the summary page of the BAS fields. For example, it's pulled out total sales as being 4810, and that's GST inclusive. It's then going to pull out all of your wage information. As we saw, there were no pay runs populated in this period. We only started employing someone in June, so these are not filled out. PAYG income tax installment, I can put in here my installment amount. Lastly, it does the calculation for you, which is GST on sales, that's the GST you've collected, plus any PAYG you've withheld from employees, plus your income tax installment equals your total amount payable. So we're going to say that our installment is $1,000 here. So you can see the example. And I might just put in some wages as well so you can see an example there. So we're going to say we've got $437 on GST from sales, plus $5,000 owing of tax for employees, and $1,000 as an income tax installment. That leaves me with $6,437 owing to the ATO, but we minus any GST on purchases that we've had, which is $299, and that leaves us with the total payable of $6,138. Now, you could just rely on this information being accurate, but that's not how we prepare a BAS. We want to do some simple checks. Now, before I go into these simple checks, I just want to clarify and reiterate, I am a BAS agent registered with the Tax Practitioners Board of Australia. However, this is just general advice to help small business owners. If you want specific advice tailored to your business needs, make sure you speak independently with a BAS agent or accountant to get that information. This is just a tutorial. So, you want to use the transactions by tax rate header here. This is my favorite report in Xero because it breaks down all of the transactions for the period by the tax code that you have selected. And the purpose of running this section is to look over everything you've done and fix any mistakes. So the report always starts off with GST on income. For those of you who aren't familiar with BAS, GST on income is that 10% that's charged on your sales. So you'll see here all of the sales, which account they relate to, any reference you put on, the details pulled out of the invoice, followed by the gross amount of the sale and the GST charged. Anything in brackets is a negative. So you want to look at any brackets and make sure you can verify their accuracy. So here I can see Hamilton Smith was refunded their monthly support fee, so was Bank West. The rest have gone through as normal, and the gross sales is 4810 with 43727 charged in GST. So that's what we owe to the ATO. Keep in mind that we don't include cents when we report this to the ATO, and Xero will deal with that for you. So moving on from GST on income, we have GST on expenses. So these are expenses that relate to your business producing income or making a sale. This is not everything you buy. This is specific items that relate to business running and day-to-day transactions. They have to be claimable, and the item has to contain GST. For example here, Travel National, Qantas payment. Yep, that's national travel. Let's say it's related to business. That's claimable. If this was a Qantas flight for business overseas, there's no GST charged. So even though it's claimable for tax, it's not claimable for GST as there is no GST. So keep an eye on all of your invoices. If you're not familiar with the supplier, always check whether they have GST charged or not. So we move our way through. We've got printing and stationery, rent, office expenses, motor vehicle expenses, some other office expenses, and another motor vehicle. They all look normal. That's fine. Let's just say that one of these transactions was incorrect. I can click into that transaction to open up a new window. Under options, I can click edit transaction, and I'm then able to edit the tax rate. So if I thought, oops, this was actually petrol for my personal car, it wasn't business related, I can change this to GST free, for example. So make sure you're going through this list and adding GST or removing GST where relevant. So let's move back to the report. Next section is your GST free expenses. So these will be things like personal transactions, bank fees, interest charges, international travel, healthcare, basic foods. The list goes on, and there's a full detailed list available on the ATO website. Just type in GST free and you'll find that information. These two are correct, so I'm happy with that. I move along. BAS excluded is only used for items that do not relate to the GST system. So these will be wage payments. We've already taken tax out of those, and they're not GST related, so they sit under BAS excluded. You can see some adjustments or opening balances are here. They're not relating to GST. And another example of BAS excluded would be a business owner putting money in or taking money out of an account. Great. So now we've checked all of those. We're happy with our GST codes. I would recommend at this point you want to click export and send it off to PDF. I always save my reports that I've used to lodge the BAS as PDF because this allows me to look back and see how I calculated something. You can also provide this information to your accountant or bookkeeper. Great. So the summary will show you once again your accounting method, your total sales, your salary and wages followed by your PAYG. You've got your installment amount, which you can enter in if you know what it is, and then it will populate the rest for you here. So what you owe minus what the tax office owes you will be the payment that needs to be made. Few last comments here. One, with the payroll, this gets pulled in from the payroll section of Xero. You need to make sure all your payroll settings are set up correctly. And I have a payroll tutorial that I have already created that you can follow to help with this. Xero also have a really useful reconciliation guide for payroll that you can access through Xero support. Make sure you use that and ensure that the payroll is fully accurate before you rely on this information here. The income tax installment, the ATO will normally give you an amount or they'll give you a rate. So you can enter that in there based on the setting that we selected. Lastly, you want to ensure that you've looked over all of this and that it's accurate and you're happy with it before you finalize it. So we're going to say that we've done all our checks. We're happy to finalize the BAS. What that means now is that this BAS can be lodged to the ATO. Now, this is a demo file, so we can't lodge it to the ATO from here, but you will have an option to then lodge this BAS to the ATO after this step. Or now you've got this information ready, you can simply log into the business portal and next to each relevant field, enter in the figures from the Xero BAS report. So the actual BAS statement will ask you for total sales, which is this one here, and it will ask you for GST on sales, which is this one here. It's then going to ask you for GST on purchases, which you can see here at 1B. The next step, if you've got employees, will be entering W1 and W2. So they want to know the total wages, which is here, and how much tax was withheld, which is here. The last thing they'll get you to enter in is your installment amount, which is T7, which they will normally automatically populate for you. If you've got the income times rate option, you simply enter in your total sales for the period and it will work out based on a rate that they've given you what you need to pay for that installment. And there you go. That's an overview of how you can lodge your BAS through Xero. I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you haven't already, make sure you subscribe or give a thumbs up, and I'll see you in the next tutorial.